Hello and welcome to Daily Prelims Practice. Here we are going to take up the MCQs based on today's newspaper of The Hindu and Indian Express, which are important from UPSC Prelims exam perspective. The topics for today's discussion are listed on your screen. So let us start the discussion. The first question of today's discussion is based on this particular news, which has appeared on page number 16 in Indian Express. The context of this news is that South African president has pledged to leave International Criminal Court before hosting Putin. Although the context of this news is not important as far as our UPSC Prelims exam is concerned, but international organizations like International Criminal Court is important for our prelims exam. Previously, UPSC has asked many questions on international organizations and their mandate. In 2021, UPSC has asked about Global Ocean Commission, and in this question you are being given 3 statements, and out of them you need to identify the correct one. On the similar lines, we have framed one practice MCQ on International Criminal Court. The first statement says it is an organ of United Nations that hears dispute between states. It is an incorrect statement because International Criminal Court is an intergovernmental organization which prosecutes individuals who have committed international crimes such as genocide, crime against humanity, and war crimes. Moreover, this statement is a description of another international court which is known as ICJ, the International Court of Justice. And the second statement says its headquarters is located at Hague, which is in Netherlands. It is a correct statement because ICC's headquarters is located at Hague. The third and the last statement says India is a member of ICC since its inception. It is again an incorrect statement because India has neither signed nor ratified the Rome Statute, which forms the basis of International Criminal Court. And we need to identify the correct statements. The answer to this question becomes B, which is 2 only. And the answer to the previous year question is also B, which is 2 and 3 only. Let us try to solve this question. There is only one trap statement in this question, and that is the first one. If you are following the international organizations very closely, you must have got the idea that it is the International Seabed Authority and not the Global Ocean Commission which grants licenses for seabed exploration and mining. So, the moment you eliminate one, you will reach the correct answer. The next question of today's discussion is based on this particular news, which has appeared on page number 14 in The Hindu. This news says that in past 2 financial years, only half of the insurance claims provided to bank holders under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana were settled. Government schemes and initiatives are important from our UPSC Prelims exam perspective, which makes this area important for our discussion. In 2016, UPSC has directly asked a question on Mudra Yojana. In this question, you need to identify the objective of this particular scheme. And on the similar lines, we have framed one practice MCQ which says, with reference to Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, consider the following statements. The first statement says, accidental insurance is provided with minimum premium of 12 rupees per annum. It is an incorrect statement because the key condition to get the accidental insurance is that the beneficiary must have performed at least one successful transaction using the card in 90 days prior to the date of accident. There is no provision of 12 rupees per annum. The second statement says, to avail the insurance, the use of RuPay card is mandatory. It is a correct statement. Under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, a RuPay debit card is provided to the account holders, and to avail insurance, the use of RuPay card is necessary. So, it is a correct statement. Half of the beneficiaries of scheme are women. It is also a correct statement. The total beneficiaries are around 49 crore and more than 50% are women, which makes this statement correct. And the answer to this question becomes D, which is 2 and 3 only. And the answer to the previous year question is A, because Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana aims to bring small entrepreneurs into formal financial system. Whenever you come across government schemes, you should note down 3 important aspects of that particular scheme. The one is the objective, the another one is beneficiaries, and the last one is the ministry. These are the aspects on which UPSC generally asks questions. The next question of today's discussion is based on this news, which has appeared on page number 8 in The Hindu. It basically talks about the Constituent Assembly, which played an important role in the framing of Indian Constitution. UPSC has previously asked many questions regarding the Constituent Assembly. So we should be aware about the key aspects associated with Constituent Assembly. In 2013, UPSC has asked that the members of Constituent Assembly from the provinces were In this question, you are being given 4 statements and you need to identify the correct one. On the similar lines, we have framed one practice MCQ and it says, consider the following statements. The first statement says, for the first time in August offer, the right to frame constitution mainly by Indians was recognized by British authorities. In 1940, August offer proposed to set up Constituent Assembly after the World War II, where mainly Indians would decide the constitution according to their social, economic and political conceptions. So it is a correct statement. And for the first time, the inherent right of Indians to frame their constitution was recognized by British authorities. Second statement says, the Cabinet Mission recommended mandatory grouping of provincial assemblies for Constituent Assembly. It is again a correct statement because Cabinet Mission proposed the grouping of existing provincial assemblies into 3 sections which are named as Section A, B and C. And in the Constituent Assembly, the members from these groups were made to sit separately to decide the constitution for provinces. Hence, it is a correct statement. The last statement says, the representatives of princely states to the Constituent Assembly were partly elected. It is an incorrect statement because the representatives of princely states were nominated by princes and they were not elected, which makes this statement incorrect. And the answer to this question becomes B, which is 1 and 2 only. And the answer to the previous year question is C, because the members of provinces were elected by the provincial legislative assemblies. Now moving on to the next question, which is based on this news which has appeared on page number 6 in The Hindu. A recent controversy has erupted over the release of Mahanadi's water by Chhattisgarh into the lower catchment area of the river system. This river has been in news since many years due to its dispute between Odisha and Chhattisgarh. It is an important segment of Indian geography from which UPSC frequently asks questions on river systems. In 2015, UPSC has asked about tributaries of Godavari river, and on the similar lines, we have framed one practice MCQ on tributaries of Mahanadi. In this question, you are being given 4 rivers and you need to identify which of the above are tributaries of Mahanadi. Mahanadi is a major river in eastern central India that originates from Sihwa Mountains, which is in Chhattisgarh. This river flows through state of Chhattisgarh and Odisha before finally ending in Bay of Bengal. Now we will solve the MCQ. The first river which is mentioned here is Sionath, and the second one is Indravati, the third one is Hasdeo, and the fourth one is Ong. The main tributaries of Mahanadi river are Sionath, Hasdeo and Ong. Indravati is not a tributary of Mahanadi. Hence, the answer to this question becomes C, which is 1, 3 and 4. And Hirakud Dam is a major dam on Mahanadi and it is also the longest dam in India. Try to remember this piece of information which can help you in your prelims exam. And the answer to the previous year question is D, which is 2 and 3 only, because only Indravati and Pranhita are the tributaries of Godavari. The next question of today's discussion is based on this news which has appeared on page number 4 in The Hindu. The context of this news is that recently a Hill Council team from Meghalaya went to Tripura to study the functioning of tribal councils of Tripura. As this news is directly related to 5th and 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution, this area becomes important for our discussion, and UPSC has previously asked many questions regarding schedules of Indian Constitution. In 2022, UPSC has asked a question on 5th schedule of the Indian Constitution. You are being given 4 statements and you need to identify the correct one. You can try a hand on this. The practice question in this regard says, with reference to 6th schedule, consider the following statements. The first statement says, it deals with the administration and control of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes in any state except the 4 states of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. It is an incorrect statement because this description explains the 5th schedule of the Indian Constitution. And on the other hand, the 6th schedule deals with the administration of tribal areas in the 4 northeastern states, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram, which makes this statement incorrect. Try to remember these 4 states which comes under 6th schedule. The second statement says, as per the Constitution, majority of the members of district council are to be nominated by governor of the state. It is again an incorrect statement. As per the 6th schedule, there shall be a district council for each autonomous district consisting of not more than 30 members. And out of these 30, not more than 4 persons shall be nominated by governor. which makes this statement incorrect. And the answer to this question becomes D, which is neither 1 nor 2. And the answer to the previous year question is A, because if a particular area is brought under 5th schedule, this would prevent the transfer of land of tribal people to non-tribal people. The last question of today's discussion is based on this news, which has appeared on page number 14 in The Hindu. The context of this news is not important as far as our UPSC Prelims exam is concerned, but the body which is mentioned here, the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, is an important organization which plays vital role in protection of child rights. It is an important area under Polity section from which UPSC frequently asks questions on constitutional bodies or statutory bodies, which makes this area important for our discussion. In 2013, UPSC has asked this particular question and it says, which of the following bodies do not find mention in the Constitution? The first one is National Development Council, the second one is Planning Commission, and the third one is Zonal Council. In this question, you need to identify the correct answer. Just try a hand on this. The practice question which we have framed says that with reference to National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, which of the following statements is or are correct? The first statement says, it is a statutory body established under Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. It is an incorrect statement because the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights was constituted by Government of India under Protection of Child Rights Act 2005. Hence, it is a statutory body but not established under this act. The second statement says, as defined by the Commission, child includes person up to the age of 14 years. It is again an incorrect statement because according to the NCPCR definition, a child is a person who is under 18 years of age and not 14, which makes this statement incorrect. The last statement says it works under Ministry of Women and Child Development. It is a correct statement as this organization works under this particular ministry and the primary function of NCPCR is to ensure that all laws and policies are aligned with the perspective of child rights as enshrined in Indian Constitution and UN Convention on Rights of Child. Hence, the answer to this question becomes B, which is 3 only. And the answer to the previous year question is D, because none of these bodies have been mentioned in the Constitution. So that's all for today's discussion. Thank you for watching today's DPP. Stay tuned for upcoming sessions which will enhance your preparation for the prelims exam which is going to be conducted on 28th May 2023.